Wardens are way too strong. Oh no, if only there was a way to farm these guys. In this episode of Hardcore Minecraft, I am going to build a giant Warden Farm to not only make my world a much safer place, but to also get unlimited sculk blocks. Now, to build this farm, we need to find an ancient city. So let's make some night vision potions so that we'll be able to see in the caves. All right, this should be enough, so let's go. Alright, so we found an ancient city, and before I build the Warden Farm, I want to loot this place. So let's just try and quietly loot the chests and... Oh no, I've summoned the Warden, and for some reason it's not attacking us, so I think building this Warden Farm should be easy. Okay, maybe it's not going to be as easy as I thought. Come on, let's just keep building out of here. Oh, that is not good. That is not good. Okay, I think it's safe to say if I'm going to even stand a chance at building the Warden Farm, I'm going to need to stop Wardens from spawning. So let's grab a bunch of wool and place it around every single shrieker so no Wardens can spawn. And I think I have covered every single shrieker. Hey! Okay, now I have covered up every single shrieker. So now that this ancient city is completely safe from Wardens, we can head up to the surface and begin obtaining all the blocks we need to build the Warden Farm. So let's start by gathering a bunch of wood. We are also going to need to gather up a bunch of stone, a ton of kelp, and finally, let's collect some soul sand. Now we have all of this, let's craft the final components we need, things like observers, hoppers, and dispensers. And there we go. So this should be everything we need to build a giant Warden Farm. So let's get to work. Now the first thing we need to do is find a good spot to build this farm. And we need to build it on top of a shrieker, so right here should be perfect. Let's now clear out a bunch of space around the shrieker to build the farm. Alright, so we have cleared out the area and we are good to start building the farm. And wait a second, is that a diamond? Oh, it is. So the first thing we need to do to build this farm is actually grab a bunch of our carpets and then remove all of these. I'm hoping we are safe to do this and a warden just doesn't spawn in. Okay, looks like we're good. So we now have to place a bunch of carpet all around the shrieker. And perfect. So the next thing we need to do is grab an observer and some blocks and place our observer facing the shrieker and then a block here. Let's also place these down. And then next to the blocks we've just placed down, let's place even more and break these. And now that we have this, we can place some redstone on top of these blocks. And then to make sure nothing spawns, let's spawn proof these blocks by putting some carpet on top. Now we need to grab our dispensers and place one here and one here. Okay, this is looking good so far. We just need to go ahead and now build the platform where all of the wardens will spawn onto. So let's fill in the spawning platform, and now let's surround this platform with a wall of glass. Alright, this should be good. So the next thing we need to do is place a block right here and then get a fence and place it here. So now that we have this fence in position, let's put a soul sand right here and remove these blocks. And of course, we now need to place some blocks either side of the soul sand. Alright, let's now head back up to the top because I need to spawn proof all of these pieces of glass so nothing can spawn on top. Boom, boom, boom. Let's now grab our fence gates and place 3 of them on top of this fence. So one here, and one there. Now we need to build a water elevator all the way to the surface, so that way we can see the wardens when they get transported. So let's expand this water elevator all the way up to the surface. All right, this is as far as we can build, so we'll just have to break our way to the top manually. Finally, we have reached the surface. So we now need to lead this water elevator into a giant warden structure that will then trap and kill all of the wardens. Now here is an outline of the giant warden. Take a look at the size of this thing. I should probably start gathering all of the materials I need to build it. Now I want this thing to be super detailed. So the first thing we need is a bunch of black and light gray wool. So let's start by getting all of the wool that we need. Now let's gather all of the dyes. Then let's turn all of this into the dyed wool that we need. Alright, so this should be enough. Now the next thing that we need to get is this blue wood from the nether. And not only do I need a bunch of this blue wood to be able to build the giant warden, I'm also going to need a bunch of these leaves as well. So let's just grab a bunch of these. And there we go. So I've now collected all of the warped blocks we need. As you can see, there is about 2 shulker boxes here, which is probably going to be more than enough. Now the final thing that we need to build a giant warden is actually a bunch of different colors of concrete. Now we don't just need a few pieces of concrete. we need an absolute ton of it. And, well, luckily for me, I've already gathered all of the materials we need to build an infinite concrete duplicator machine. And yes, I know this sounds crazy, but when you see the final result of this Warden, you'll understand. Now, the concrete machine needs to be built on top of an end portal, so let's clear out a bunch of space to be able to build this machine. Alright, now we've got to break the end portal frames. Now, apparently, if we bone meal this, it should break the end portal frame. So let's just go ahead and do it. Did it work? Oh my goodness. Wait, take a look at that. The end portal frame is literally disappeared. So now let's just go ahead and repeat that on all of the other sides. And there we go. So we have broken all the end portal frames, and I still can't believe this is possible. This just looks really weird for some reason. Like, what even is this thing? Anyway, though, let's build the concrete duplicator machine. There we go, so the machine is finished. We now just have to head inside of the end and build a storage area for all of the concrete. Alright, so there we go. We have fully built the storage system. So now all we need to do is craft the different colors of concrete that I want to duplicate. So let's start off by crafting light gray concrete, black concrete, light blue concrete, and finally, I actually need to put some blue dye with some green dye and craft some cyan dye to craft ourselves some cyan concrete. Alright, so there is all of our concrete powder. I have literally no idea how many times I've just said concrete. So let's see if this thing works. We have to place all of our concrete powder around the end portal just like this. Now let's make sure we get each of the different colors of concrete, and there we go. So now our concrete is in position. We can go ahead and turn all of these levers on. There we go, and it does look like it's working, but let's head inside and actually take a closer look. And wow, I did not expect it to look like this, but it appears it's working. I mean, we've been using it for barely any time, and just look at the amount of concrete that we already have, like 3 stacks. So I guess all I have to do now is stand here until we have enough concrete to build the Warden Farm. Okay, so I've been stood here for quite some time. I'm hoping we have enough concrete to build this giant warden. And oh my wow. Guys, take a look at the amount of concrete we have. This is a crazy amount. Let's now go ahead and load up our shulker boxes with all of this concrete. The shulker boxes are full, so let's finally build the giant warden. You've got to be kidding me. I've just remembered that I have to turn all of this concrete powder into normal concrete, and I have to do this manually.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
It took me forever, but we have now turned all of the concrete powder into normal concrete. So we now have every single thing we need to build a giant warden. I'm gonna go ahead and start by building the body of the warden first. For the bottom of the warden, we just need to place a bunch of black concrete. We've now got to switch up the blocks that we use to make it look more detailed. So let's just go ahead and add some gray concrete and some black wool as well. And let's also make some warped planks and place those in as well. Now let's start making some serious progress. Let's just go ahead and place in the final few blocks. And there we go. The body of the warden is complete, and I would call that a success. It looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and start work on the arms, which hopefully won't be that hard to build. I really hope we don't mess this up. Guys, take a look at this. This spider is climbing up to us. Aw, hey little guy. And boom, we have finished building the arm. Well, actually, only the front of the arm is complete. So let's just go ahead and fill in the rest of the arm. Let's just keep on building just like this. And seeing as we're building the rest of the arm, we'll also go ahead and fill in the top as well. And just like that, we are done building the warden's left arm, which of course means it's time to build the warden's other arm. Now, I know I've just built that arm over there, but I've somehow forgotten how to build the arms already. I think it goes gray concrete here, and then some more black wool, then even more gray concrete and black concrete. I mean, at least I think that's right. Anyway, let's just finish up building the warden's right arm. Both arms of the warden are now complete. And even though we're not finished yet, the giant warden is already looking insane. So let's just hurry up and build the back of this thing. And we're done. So we can now finally finish this off by building the warden's head and his little ear horn things. So let's start working on the front of the warden's face. And of course, let's not forget about his giant mouth. We're missing one more block. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Okay, there we go. I would say that looks pretty good. So let's move on to building his forehead. And just like that, we finished the front of the warden's face, so let's build the rest. And we are finally done. Oh, wait a second. Okay, now it's finished. I cannot believe that this actually looks just like a warden. Like, take a look at the detail in this thing. And also, not to mention, it is huge. Anyway, I think it's time that we get this warden farm up and running. Ouch. So, let's head inside of the warden farm, and let's build the area where the wardens will die and drop all of their sculk blocks. So, the way that this works is that when the wardens spawn down in the ancient city, they'll get pushed up this tube and then die. Then they'll drop all of their sculk blocks, and it will lead into a storage area. And I kind of want to make this storage area look nice. So I think we should stick with the block palette and use some black concrete. And let's also add in some of the other blocks we've been using for the warden, like cyan concrete, warped planks, grey concrete, and finally some warped stem. Now for the wardens to get pushed up here, we have to place down some water, and now we have to place down tons and tons of kelp. And now, if we go down and break it, we should have ourselves a water elevator. And yep, take a look at that. Now if we place a slab at the top of the water elevator, the wardens will get stuck right here and then drown. And then of course, when the warden drowns, it will drop its sculk into this hopper, which then leads into this chest. And just like that, the warden farm should now be ready to use. But I have no way to get back down to the ancient city. So let's fix that by building some more water elevators. And now we can go down to the ancient city and even go back up to the giant warden. So let's finally test this farm. I really hope it works. So to start it, we have to break this piece of wool and step onto the shrieker. So here goes. If this farm somehow breaks, we are going to be in trouble because this farm will just keep constantly pumping out wardens. Anyway, let's do this. Warden, where are you? Is it? Oh, there it is. Oh my, that is the scariest thing I've ever seen. That is so close to us. But there it goes. And straight up into the water tunnel. It's really hard to see though because we have blindness, but it did go up there. Okay, here's another warden spawning in. This is working absolutely perfectly. There we go. And they are definitely going up the tunnel, right? Yep, they 100% are. Wait a second. And yep, there it goes. Okay, so the good news is it is all working down here. But the question is, are the wardens getting taken out up top in the giant warden? I guess there's only one way to find out. Oh, wait a second. We have another warden going through. That is the most satisfying thing ever. All right, let's head up to the top and see what's happening to the wardens up here. Now, if everything's working correctly, they should be... Wait, I think I can hear them. Take a look at that. The wardens are inside of there. I don't know if I should be standing this close, but I guess we'll find out. It's really hard to see because I have permanent darkness. I wonder how long it will take for these wardens to drown. And wait, are they going to attack me? Wait, what? Oh, yep, we need to go. Let's get out of here. Okay, let's try and be extra careful. Are the wardens still in there? Okay, they're still in there. That just shows you how much health they have. I guess we'll just wait up here on top of the giant warden until all of the wardens have drowned. Okay, finally, the wardens are gone, which means their sculk should be in this chest. So let's go and take a look, and there we go. So there was 4 wardens in here, which means we have 4 sculk catalysts. Now, I know these blocks look kind of cool, but I wonder if they actually do anything. So let's place it down, and oh, okay, so they drop XP. Now, not only can we use these for XP, I also have another really good idea of what I want to do with these. So let's start using the warden farm for an absolute ton of time to get a bunch of sculk blocks. I ended up using the warden farm for an absolute ton of time. And well, I mean, it was working absolutely perfectly. The wardens were going up the water elevator and of course dropping all of their sculk blocks. So once I decided I had used the warden farm enough, I went to see just how much sculk I obtained. So in total, let's see just how much sculk catalyst this warden farm has generated us. And boom. Oh my goodness. Almost an entire double chest of sculk catalysts. What the? That is insane. I wonder if we were to break every single one of these, just how much XP we would get. Anyway, though, that's not what I want to do with these sculk catalysts. What I actually want to do is place a bunch of them all around the bottom of the warden, just like this. So if I turn the entire ground to sculk catalysts, it will make the giant warden farm look so much better. Now, this might take a while, so let's get to work. Alright, let's see what it looks like. It looks a little weird. But what if I loot some sculk sensors from the ancient city and also mine up a bunch of normal sculk? Will adding all of this make it look any better? Yeah, I like that a lot more. So now that we fully finished this project, I'm going to go ahead and use the warden farm. So I'll see you guys in the next one. There's a creeper! What is happening?